Welcome to Below the 49th, my personal take on the United States of America, my neighbor to the south, below the 49th. I'm Michael A. Charbon. Dateline, Thursday, April the 9th, 2020. Today's title, The COVID Effect. I write this on day 23 of self-quarantine, living with a close family member with severe compromised immune systems. My first Below the 49th report was on March 29th. Then, the United States had recorded 2,500 deaths. Today, 11 days later, America's total is almost 17,000 due to COVID-19. I truly realize that humanity is experiencing transformational times, a period where we are both participants and witnesses to a generational evolution of humanity. It's a huge time in our lives. The coronavirus has threatened our existence. It transcends border, gender, race, color, creed. I mean, humanity just got a wake-up call, a warning, a shock, an in-your-face realization of what was, what you had, what is now, and what could bring tomorrow, and what you should never take for granted again. Consider the impact and the magnitude that the shoe bomber had on air travel. Now that seems almost inconsequential when you compare it to how COVID-19 has impacted every nation, every person, and every aspect of life as we knew it. These truly are transformational times. This year, whether you're celebrating Easter, Passover, or Ramadan in self-imposed quarantine, we will all appreciate family that much more. We will value and cherish being blessed with such good friends and look forward to future celebrations with favorite special foods with a greater reverence. It's like that bean salad. It's not so bad after all. Promise yourself, really think about this, never to take things for granted again. Our grandparents did that in the years of the wars. And we're in the same war here. And when you pray to your God and you give thanks, remember to pray for a nation, to pray for so many others in pain and sorrow who need your words to God on their behalf. I personally experienced immense shifts and waves of overwhelming emotion where I'm spontaneously brought to tears watching devastating stories of severe sorrow and death and traumatic images of human suffering. I mean, tears running down my face as I feel so sorry for all these people. And then in a flash, during the same story, I suddenly feel a wave of deep gratitude and appreciation for frontline heroes, the truck drivers, the people who are working in grocery stores, the cleaners, everybody. Those responders who risk their lives to save infected people. People who bravely walk right out of the valley of the shadow of death, showing selfless compassion and devotion and courage. And then restaurant owners and regular people in New York performing anonymous noble acts of charity, kindness, and generosity for nameless people, ordinary people doing remarkable things. It really vividly reminds us of the greatness of humanity that exists in each of us. And of course the tears go again, but this time it's completely different. It's tears of joy. Such immense, profound emotional swings. Today, the news shows a glimmer of optimism that there just may be a reduction in cases and that the curve may be in grasp. We pray for Chicago, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Florida, and so many other great cities in the United States as they too approach their apex. So together, we must continue to stay at home and look towards better times. Times that take us to a place of hope and faith for an optimistic outcome. Like when you listen to a song that you haven't heard in a long time and it immediately transports you back to another time and a wonderful memory. You know, that sincere pleasure of watching Keith Urban and so many other great musicians playing live music on the net, and then you share it with your friends, hoping to give them a smile as well. Imagine the positive impact on so many seniors who just got a technological update, like a catch-up on the power of connectivity and innovation. You know, as youth took connectivity for granted, they now realize how a simple FaceTime can deliver love, comfort, and an elixir to fix loneliness. Now Grandma FaceTimes them. Now more than ever, we need to see the humor and the insanity and how the mundane has changed in these crazy times. I mean, how the words like asymptomatic and hydroxychloroquine will live forever in Scrabble history, where PPE still for some means the innocence of a child telling you that they have to go PPE and not masks and gowns. When working from home using Zoom or take a meeting for a client conference call really only demands dressing from the waist up. And then you see your colleague, on the conference call, and they look like they just woke up and they've been drinking, and they have this picture behind them on the wall. Like, why do you have that ugly picture on the wall? Or the books. They always do it in front of, lots of books. Did you really read all those books? I mean, if this keeps going any longer, we have to make a pact together here. We have to make sure that there's no FaceTime before 11:30. I mean, please, good heavens, for all of us' sake, don't take a meeting or a FaceTime before 11:30, or wear a mask. Speaking of a mask, imagine this. Can you imagine walking into a bank 2 weeks ago wearing a mask like that? I mean, don't try and be funny and say that you want to make a withdrawal. But really, like, what have we come to? Soon we're going to see custom masks. You watch. We're going to see advertisements for Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes and the Amazon Man. Question. So do you answer the door if a guy's wearing a mask that says, "What you talking about, Willis?" I mean, it's going to happen. They're going to do it. And here's such a bizarre thing in life. I mean, recently a lady in India had twins, and she named one of them Corona and the other COVID. I've also grown to hate TV at times, and I get earworms. Those the part of a song that gets stuck in your ear from like old TV shows. They're rerunning all these old TV shows. I caught myself humming the theme to Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. I mean, stop that. I mean, if it gets to the point where the Waltons start to go, I need to get some wine immediately. Oh, and I also can't stand that guy. Can you pick up my Viagra? I mean, it drives me crazy. Who says that? I mean, it's nuts. But I do bust out laughing when that commercial for the stationary mini floor bike pedal thing, the guy, who buys that? I mean, not me. Anyways, have you played Freezer Pot Luck yet? It's that game where you defrost stuff and it isn't even close to what you thought it was, or even remember cooking. I mean, when you have some personal affirmations, you really sit down and think, I suck at folding laundry. I admit that. And I can actually bake, me. And I must say, with the two of us here working at home, there are some challenges. My wife is also working from home. Like yesterday, I had a cell phone bud in one ear. I had the home cordless in the other hand. I had the TV converter from the office in my other hand. And I'm listening to like a really great song, super loud on my computer. And I will probably say I was listening to Nickelback. I love Nickelback, no guff. And all of a sudden the phone rings. I mean, I panic because it's like 10:45 and I almost spill my red wine on my keyboard trying to turn the music down. And then as I'm pressing a thing to answer the phone, I launch a YouTube video and like competitive screaming. I mean, it's panic. Everything's different, right? So once I stopped the wall of sound and finished my call, immediately my wife looks to me and she says, who called? Who called? Like, did you really care who called on my business line? So I figured, I turned to her nice and I said, oh, it was Jake from State Farm. And after I ducked from this flying mouse coming by, thankfully her phone rings. And then one of those two lovely gentlemen that I left her name with yesterday called her back, about the duct cleaning and the new windows. She goes, hello, how did you get my name? She does the whole call and says, honey, you called. Karma's funny. You can have some fun. So if you feel stressed, depressed, and down in the dumps and you really need to get a laugh right this minute, you got to get some funny, watch Steve Harvey and any of those Family Feud clips. Trust me, you're going to laugh out loud uncontrollably. Or even better, do a FaceTime with somebody at like 11 o'clock and take a screenshot right when they connect. Remember that we together can beat the virus because the word virus contains two letters that will kill it, you and I. Okay? Please like and share. Leave a comment. I thank you for those considerations. And until next time, God bless and stay safe and stay at home. On day 22 of quarantine, I'm Michael A. Charbon for Below the 49.